Chairman Pfluger, Ranking Member Magaziner, distinguished members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Oren Segal, and I serve as Senior Vice President of Counter-Extremism and Intelligence at ADL. My team works to track, expose, and disrupt extremism, anti-Semitism, and hate every single day across the ideological spectrum, online, and on the ground. I'm here today because the Jewish community in this country is not just facing elevated threat, but one of the most diverse and complex threat landscapes in recent memory. We have experienced a surge in violent anti-Semitic attacks, included calculated, mission-driven violence. In the past 12 months, ADL has documented 9 terror plots or attacks in the US motivated by anti-Semitism, more than the previous 4 years and a half combined. 3 weeks ago, a young couple was murdered outside the Capitol Jewish Museum here in Washington, D.C. The suspect, who reportedly shouted "Free Palestine" after the attack, posted a manifesto rejecting nonviolence. 10 days ago in Boulder, an attacker also shouted "Free Palestine" at a peaceful vigil while attempting to burn his victims alive with Molotov cocktails and a flamethrower. My team also uncovered videos posted on Telegram recorded by the suspect in Boulder before the attack, in which he declared that God is greater than the Zionists, greater than America. And 2 months ago, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's home was targeted by a firebomb on the night of his Passover Seder. Each one of these horrific incidents was an attack on the entire Jewish community. And as if that's not bad enough, these attacks have been justified, celebrated, and normalized by groups operating on American soil, as well as across digital platforms. They fuel an environment where targeted attacks against the Jewish community become increasingly likely. While the grievances driving the violence are often framed as opposition to Israel, they frequently include expressions dehumanizing Jews and Zionists. And they also include support for terror groups. When Jews are blamed for the policies of the State of Israel, it's not only anti-Semitic, it is dangerous. And let me be crystal clear, criticism of Israel or its policies is not anti-Semitism. Mere criticism does not factor into our data. But when Jewish individuals and institutions are targeted with protest, vandalism, harassment, and violence, that is classic anti-Semitism. And that type of hate has been a driving force behind the surge of incidents we have documented in the US, especially since the October 7th massacre by Hamas. In 2024, ADL documented over 9,000 anti-Semitic incidents of assault, vandalism, and harassment, the highest number we have recorded in 45 years of tracking. And for the first time, the majority of those incidents referenced Israel or Zionism. On campuses and in cities around the country, we've seen flags of terrorist organizations alongside slogans calling for globalizing the Intifada or bringing the war home. Online platforms like Telegram, among others, enable foreign terrorist organizations to share and promote their propaganda to thousands across the US and around the globe. Groups like Samidun, Unity of Fields, and even some Students for Justice in Palestine chapters have crossed a dangerous line, amplifying terrorist propaganda. And some of those groups are even supported by fiscal sponsors with little oversight. The time to act is now, and Congress should take the following 5 steps. Increase funding for the Nonprofit Security Grant Program to protect at-risk houses of worship, schools, and community centers. Invest in community-based violence prevention, such as DHS's CP3. Empower the Interagency Task Force to combat anti-Semitism, ensuring it has a mandate and resources to coordinate across federal agencies. Pass the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act and the Holocaust Education and Anti-Semitism Lessons Act to strengthen the accountability in our education system. And finally, address hate on our digital platforms by enforcing transparency and cracking down on violations of material support laws. Despite years of warnings and mounting data, anti-Semitism and the violence that it animates continues to be dismissed, minimized, and politicized. Too many families are asking the ADL, is it safe to be Jewish in public? And while Jewish communities are strong and resilient, they cannot be expected to bear this burden alone. We need leaders to condemn anti-Semitism without hesitation. The federal government has the tools and the responsibility to act. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.